Welcome back to Updates 24 SA, the channel that keeps you informed on everything happening in South African politics. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop a like on this video. It really helps us bring you more content like this. Now, before we get into today's video, I want you to stay till the end, because we will also be playing Fikile Mbalula's response to what Malema said, and trust me, you do not want to miss that. Now, Julius Malema has come out swinging. The EFF leader has suggested that the ANC is surrounded by incompetent people and gone as far as to say that the EFF was asked to come and save the ANC. As if that wasn't enough, Malema also threw his support behind the appointment of Dunga into the Gauteng government, a move that has already divided opinion across the country. So the big question is Malema right? Is the ANC really depending on the EFF to survive? And what does Mbalula have to say about all of this? Watch the video and decide for yourself.
Ikuruleni was still fighting with the ANC about Ikuruleni. And we hope to find a solution very soon, because that budget was passed illegal. And if they are not going to move, we are going to take them to court for that budget to be declared invalid. So that can be avoided by political engagements. So they must give us to what belongs to us. Give Caesar what belongs to Caesar. They took our speaker. They took our MMCs. We want them back. You give us, let's go. Let's work. It's as simple as that. The hatred was Dunga. Dunga is no more. Why did we hate Dunga so much? Because Dunga was smarter than you in all respect. He couldn't match Dunga. No, that mayor, he couldn't stand Dunga because he couldn't match Dunga. Got brains, thinking capacity, charisma, handsomeness, everything. Dunga is more presentable than him. Dunga has got no puza face and things like that. So we not try to run up puza face. Till today he hasn't told us why he hates Dunga this much. So we have to fundraise the reasons and find out. Or maybe because he's got puza face and Dunga doesn't have. Therefore, that's the fight. Because he said the fight was personal. He said it's very personal. He couldn't give us any reason. So we are not, if we're given any reason, we'll leave. Fighters, Dunga never stole a cent in Ikuruleni. He found it at 350 on hand and left it at 1.5, if I'm not wrong, 2.1 billion on hand. So how do you say such a person doesn't have capacity? How do you say that? That such a person doesn't have capacity? Who said all MECs of education are teachers? Who said that? Or education experts or anything of that? Who said the MEC of environmental affairs stayed in the bushes and did the environmental affairs studies and he understands environment more than anyone? Who said that? Those are political positions. The government is run by those who are qualified. That's why we always surrender ourselves with the best. That's why you saw his first picture to the office. He was accompanied by a doctor. That guy didn't do his PhD with burning of tires in the township. And that was not his PhD. Researching why people were burning tires in the township. His dissertation was on treasury. That guy that is with Dunga, Dr. Guman. Now, Mbalula once tried to ridicule us. You know, not to go to school is a problem. Where he says, they brought an expert. They brought an expert. And we didn't have an expert. And he's proud that he didn't have an expert on a matter that needs experts. That's how much education is valued at that side. You are being ridiculed and being made a joke for having an expert. And that's the future. That's the future of South Africa. The president who has no understanding of the role of experts in society. Experts. We demonstrated to them that you might know us like this, but under us, real thinkers are there to sharpen this tool called the EFF. They didn't have expert, he's right. He had wafflers, waffling. All of them eating from the palm of our research. That's how much we feed these ANC's illiterates. We feed them. In the finance committee, there is worse. It was this expert who made the ANC through our public reps to know that there is a law called money bill. Joma Swanganya, what is that? No. Let's attend the meeting. And then he attended the meeting and he ran because he was still getting a crash course on money bill. First time they heard it from the EFF. Illicit financial flows and how they work. Some ANC people even asked for us to come and workshop them on what we're talking about because they've never had such a thing in their lifetime. That's because we hire the best. We hire the best. And we're focused. So they can complain about Dunga. Dunga is not an ex-convict. They're working with ex-convict. Where is that old man who was fired at the SABC who calls himself a veteran of the ANC? Snooki. Why is he not giving us an expert opinion on prisoners that are working with Cyril in the cabinet and in the municipality? In the municipality, there is a video of MMC of transport where he was calling private parts of women in a video. After he dropped that thing, he was rewarded with an MMC position. That's the kind of leadership you have. And you want to compare that to Dunga? Shame on you. Shame on Snooki. Maybe that video is exciting him, old as he is, where the MMC of transport was calling private parts of women integrity committee. What is integrity about calling private parts of women? Go and look before you pass judgment on Dunga. Look at the kind of people they work with. That minister of correctional service, an apartheid apologist, a man who possibly could have even killed black people. That man, a racist of note. Those are the kind of, you accept that man. You accept that man.
Now, you've heard what Julius Malema had to say. The accusations are out there. Incompetence, the EFF saving the ANC, and the Dunga appointment. But as promised, we are not giving you just one side of the story. Here is ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula hitting back and giving the ANC's side. Let's hear what he has to say.
And we're addressing what the court have asked us to do. And we're hopeful that the court will equally respond within the prescripts of the law, expeditiously, on those issues. And our lawyers and ourselves, we are responding to those matters. The court have not thrown everything out of the window. It has said, go and address the following. Among others, comply with your constitution and your guidelines. And that's what we're doing. So we're in the process of doing that. And others have chosen to bring things like contempt of court. We're responding to that. South Africa is a democratic country, and we've got to respect the rule of law. I've seen people who said that we don't respect the law, we don't understand the law, and all of that. I then imagined, where do these people live? Because if we disrespected the law and were in contempt of the law, we would have convened a conference. Of course, when you are confronted with a judgment, first you look at it, you note it, you take legal advice, and then you give the lawyers the mandate. And then on the basis of that, you proceed. So whatever the options that were before us were interrogated fully, and eventually we followed the law that it's an interim order, and then we need to respond to that. And that's what we're doing as the African National Congress. And so the conference would have been interdicted in session. It was interdicted even before it started. So we as the ANC from our side, we fully complied, and we are prepared to prove to the court that we fully complied with the processes of the organization. Provincial task team, when we get there, but there is no such an option of a provincial task team. Of course, if the term of office of a particular structure have come to an end, you then create a task team. Eastern Cape is still within its term. Its term of office ends in May. So that is why a conference was taking place anyway, because their term of office have come to an end. So our structures have worked very hard to get this conference taking place. So we are observing the processes of the law, and we are responding to that. Of course, there's been issues with regard to reshuffle of Gauteng Executive Council. Gauteng did come to brief us about the difficulties they are facing in passing the budget, and they were given a specific mandate. And this Monday we will reflect on that mandate and what has happened to it, and whether or not it was followed to the latter. At the present moment, I wish to pause there about it, and but we are very happy that the budget was passed, because the budget is not something that belongs to a political party. It belongs to the citizens. So political parties, whether they are in governance or not, or they are in the executive, they've got the responsibility to negotiate the budget, not for positions, but for budget to serve their constituencies and all of that, to be reflective of their interest. But people, when they negotiate budget, they negotiate exchange of positions. Put me in. Not that this budget must serve our people for this particular purpose and all of that. But nonetheless, we are very happy that the budget was passed. This Monday, we'll give a report to the officials with regard to the outcome of that mandate that was given to the comrades in Gauteng. I wish to add again and reprimand structures of the ANC, publicly so. Dissatisfaction and dissent is not expressed in the manner in which it's done. If you have a dissatisfaction about Gauteng and Panyaza, in terms of the changes they've done, you wait to be briefed. That's how organizations work. And then on the basis of that, we then take steps. We can't create a protest movement within. And it's for the last time we do that. We reprimand people now in public. Next time, we're going to take steps of discipline. It's for the last time. ANC members have got access to the organization. Decisions that have been taken in Gauteng that affect maybe the image of the ANC publicly, in their own perspective, these comrades, they must raise those issues with the SG directly. And some did, I must say. The veterans did raise their concerns with the SG, but the rest, they must understand that the ANC akukwavula sibhuqa, akukwazenzele apha. This organization is run properly. If you've got concerns and you've got dissent, raise them with the SG and make your case so that we can attend to it. The veterans have done that, and we will respond to the veterans properly post-Monday reflection by the officials on this matter. And I want to agree with you because the issues that have been raised were in public mainly by ANC structures. That pattern of doing things does not assist the cohesion of the movement and the image of the ANC, because it projects the party that does not respect itself and so on. So the center must hold, and that's what I'm saying. And it's the last time I make that call. Any individual who's going to make such statements in future, they will face the wrath of the ANC constitution, because it's not been politically wise or advanced to stand in public and attack each other. Yes, you can disagree with some of the decisions. How many people have disagreed with president's decisions about the reshuffle? Have they gone to public and disagreed? Because we understand it's not our call. Deployment is not our call. I would have long wanted to become a minister of police.